Hi! I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I bought this MakeSkyBlue controller a while ago. It's a 40 amp. And, I thought I'd see how well it works. A lot of my stuff is, well, all my stuff is homebrew. And I just wanted to see how one of these commercial controllers, how well it worked with everything else I'm doing here. And for my other videos, you'll see that I've seen this thing do many strange things that, it's hard for me to explain. I look at something like this and I think in myself, how is this operating and how would I have designed it? And so my approach is much different than your other videos you see where, people put this out on a nice sunny day and it cranks out a bunch of amps and like, hell, story's over. But I've watched this thing. I spent a lot of time out in the power shed, and it really does some weird things sometimes. And this is a big problem when the 60 volt panels drop to 16 volts, and that's not MPPT because I can disconnect the solar panels for about 5 seconds, reconnect them, and it goes right up to 56, 58 volts that I would normally expect. And the power jumps up, 30 to 40%. So, that's no deal. So what I've done is I have this little relay, which I can use to disconnect the panels with. I'll make it solid state sometime, but this is just a quick and dirty test. I only have about another week here at the camp, so I was out for something quick. So the basic circuit I have is this right here. This is power coming in from the panels, and all this circuitry is inside this heat shrink tubing that's right here. And so I go in with a polarity protect diode and a 5.1K resistor to limit current. I got two 18 volt centers. So all total you got about 39 volts in voltage drop. And so this LED only starts coming on at about 41 volts, and it's on solid when it reaches about 45 volts. So this LED inside the opto isolator, which is a PC817, it just drives this transistor. The collector's at 5 volts. The emitter is at a 2.4K pull down resistor. And the output goes into an A to D converter. It could have just as easily gone into a digital input because, it's basically pretty much on or off. And so this monitors when the voltage drops down to about 40 volts. The little micro, this is my refrigerator micro, and I had a few extra pins on it, so I just wrote a little program. And it looks for the voltage to drop below 40 volts, and it wants it to do that for about a minute and a half. And once that happens, it'll disconnect the panels for like 5 seconds and then reconnect them. And it seems to be working fine. I'm here in this area where we got a lot in October, end of September. There's an awful lot of clouds. It's not great weather. I mean, it's time to leave, really, but I'm still here, and you're trying to get the most out of your system. And I really notice what's happening because I'm out here in the shed a lot, and this little display has a nice little feature that you can get it to flash when voltage drops below a certain point. And so I have this set up for about 41 volts. So I'll be sitting out here and I'll see it just flashing away. Most of you other people wouldn't see this, because you're not out here that much. And most of the videos of other people, they got a nice sunny day. It's bright, sunny. They got a lot of panels, and they see it cranking out a whole bunch of amps, and they think that's the end of the story. But it's not. This is, I think it's a real serious problem. Now, it may be because I have a really wide voltage difference between my panels and my battery. If you had 48 volts or something higher for your battery, and you were coming in with 60 or 80 volts or 90 volts, it wouldn't be as big a problem. But in these wide ranges that of a big swing, and like I say, this only happens during low light levels, and not because I don't have enough panels. There's actually close to, it's over 1,000 watts I have going into this, which is, far above what they spec. But I have a lot of shading, and so I can never get that much power at one time. The most I've ever seen out of this is like 240 watts maximum. So, and I have a small battery, so it doesn't take a lot of current. But hey, it happens, and just thought you should know about it. So thanks for watching.